Hello everyone, welcome back to the Driple Studios YouTube channel. Today we're going to be continuing off where we left off from last episode on the Scratch RPG series. Today we're going to be making the inventory system. This shouldn't be too bad, but it won't be too easy. So last episode, if you've been following the series, we made a main menu screen, and yeah, we will continue to make other things in the series like that. So anyway, I'm waffling on now, but let's start making the inventory system. So the first thing we want to do is create a sprite. This isn't too hard to do. Just go over here, choose a sprite, click the paintbrush, select the rectangle option here. I'm gonna go for a nice 60 brightness gray rectangle here, just to fill up the entire screen. I'm going to set this position to 0, 0 so it fills up the entire screen. I'm now going to rename this to inv, and I'm also going to rename it to inv. It apparently doesn't want to type. There we go. So now I've got our inventory. I'm going to go to events. When green flag clicked, go to looks. Let's go drag a hide block in there. Let's now go to variables. Oh, I've already got it. I'm just going to delete that. Make a variable, open inv, create that. You can unselect it here. We want set open inv to 0. So that means, I'm just drag it up there. So that means now that it is off. As you can see, I'm now going to do another thing. When green flag clicked, going to go down to a forever, and then we're going to if then. We're going to go to operators, drag the equal to block here, go to variables, open inv, and change that to 0. Then we want to go to looks, drag in a show, make sure that is wait no, put a hide in that one. Grab a show, right click on the when green flag clicked, duplicate, drag it down below, get rid of the hide and put in the show, change the 0 to a 1. So your code in the inventory sprite should look like this. You don't actually need this now. If you get rid of it, it will speed up your game by the tiniest bit. But it'll still speed it. So once you've got this, all we want to do now is set color effect to 0, drag that up below there. We want to do ghost and set ghost effect to whatever shop is. It's 50, so let's do 50. What we need to do is go to events, when green flag clicked, clean up blocks, go to control. What we want to do is grab a forever block, then we want to grab an if then, and we want to go to operators once again, grab the one equal block and grab another equal block, and grab a or block, drag them into there, then go to looks, go down to the backdrop number, drag them into there. Go over to backdrops, see which backdrop it is.
So you're looking for the green land and the sand land. You're not looking for the main menu or the map. You're just looking for the green land or the sand land.
So mine's 1 and 2. So we want to go ahead and change that. So backdrop number 1 or 2. And then we want another if then. We want sensing. Key pressed, we want, I don't know, let's do Q to open up our inventory. So why not? We want to do set open inv to 1. So now if we do this, click Q here, nothing happens. Go over here, click Q, that happens. So let's just restart. Let's go over to Sand Island place and obviously we can't do anything because we haven't coded the close button, which we will do now. What we want to do is right click on shop on close, duplicate, rename it to inv close, like so. Should already be in a position. There it is. Pretty sure that's it. Inv close, yep. And we want to replace the open shop with open inv, like so. And then we want to change the open shop to open inv. So now if we do the keybind for inventory, which is Q, you can now click it and it will close down our inventory. Nice. Now I've done that, I'm now going to quickly add a little finer detail just to make the game feel a bit nicer. So what I'm going to do is just add it so if our mouse cursor hovers over our character, it will display our username. That's quite straightforward to do. So we want to go to events, when green flag clicked, clean up blocks, forever, if then, sensing, touching mouse pointer, and we want to go to think, and we want to go to sensing again, I believe it's sensing, yep, username, drag that in for 0.1 seconds. So now if we hover over our character, it will display our username. Can we glitch the game? No, we can't. Aha. Okay, so now that we've made the actual inventory system here, I'm now going to go ahead and make like the actual inventory. So we've made the background for it, made it so we can open and close it. I'm now going to make it so we can have an item in there or something like that. So we want to create a new sprite. Go to paint again, rename this to inv slot 1. Just gonna go fill, yep, grey box with a white outline. Let's actually do no fill, so why not? And I just screwed up the shape of the box. Well done me. Let's just delete that real quick and delete that. Is that a good enough box? I can't grab it. I'm just going to rename this to inv slot 1. Make the outline bigger. Yes, we can. Let's make it 10. Perfect. Now can we drag it? Indeed we can. Let's just make this a 50 size. Click the wrong button. Bingo. And that is perfect. Now let's just open up our inventory. Q. Let's put this. Oh, yay. Are you messing this up? Okay, once you have like done your positioning like I have, all we want to do is go do the coding now. So we want to do events, when green flag clicked, motion, we want to go to control first, forever, then motion, then go to -180, 120. That will forever lock it in this position because that's what we want. If it wasn't in this position, it will not be good. So now what we need is it to go to looks, go to front layer, that's what we need, and yeah, that's basically all it is now for the inventory slot. Oh, hang on, no it's not, my bad. We want to do when green flag clicked, control, forever, if then operators, the equal to variable, open inv 1, and then we want show, and then hide, duplicate, clean up blocks. I'm gonna do that, then we can do that, then we can clean up blocks again. I'm not gonna have to do this. Clean up blocks. Oh, I'm so silly. Oh well, silly. So now, as you can see here, I'm gonna click Q and it will not show up for some reason. What have I done wrong? Oh, I forgot to change this to a 0. My bad. Now, if we click Q, it will be there. Lovely. Jubbly. I'm now going to fix this, so if we're highlighting him, we don't really want that at all, so let's just restart the program, go to MPC, and let's go down here. All we need to do is go grab an AND block, grab an equals to block, go to variables. We need 2 AND blocks actually. And we need 2 of them as well, and then an open shop 1. So drag that into the right one, drag this into the left one. This can go there, this can go there, this can go there, and this can go there. It doesn't matter which way you do these, just make sure they're both set to 0. So now you can see it will work here, but if we click Q and we hover over him, it won't work. Now we can do this for every single one. I'm not going to bore you with this, just make sure it's this exact code here for everything that if you highlight with your mouse it will close. So I will be right back once I've done that. Alright, now I'm actually going to add an item that our character can put in their inventory, so we can like drag it around and stuff like that. So the first thing we want to do is just right click on inv slot 1, duplicate that, and it'll create inv slot 2. Then second of all, I'm now going to change the x coordinate here to -100 and keeping it on the same y. So now our inventory looks like this. That is wrong actually. Never mind, we want minus, is it 90? Minus 80. Yeah, minus 80. So it minuses, yeah. So plus 100 every time we want to like go up. So if we want a third one, I'm just going to quickly duplicate this. Why is it there? And then this one will be, if we plus 100 to minus 80, we get, oh my days, my
This guy's meant to be making games and he's struggling on -80 plus 100. Oh my.
minus 80 plus 100, 20, right? Yeah, we get 20.
Well done, you figured it out. Took long enough.
my mind. We get 20, but what? Why is that there? Not moving. It's not moving. There we go. So it was 20. Holy moly. Anyway, so now I've got 3 slots. That's fine by me. Now we're going to go create our sprite. So I'm going to create a sword. It won't be a good looking sword, but I'm going to try create a sword. It doesn't have to be a sword for you guys. But I will be back once I'm done drawing. Okay, now that I've made my sword, I'm now just going to rename this sword. Pretty sure I spelled sword wrong, but I don't know. I think I have some sort of stupidness inside my brain. I'm just going to set this to 0, 0. I'm just going to sword. No, I think that's how I spell it. And I'm now going to code this to just hide because we don't really need it. Events looks hide. We don't really need it just now. There we go. And we want it to go to. Let's select in slot 1, and let's set this to 50. Let's just set it to a suitable size first. Actually, we want it to then show now. What am I doing? Shows that suitable size? No. Let's half that again. 25. Perfect. So as you can see here, I've got a sword in our inventory. And whenever we click the green flag, it will go to im slot. But what if we want to move it around in our inventory like that? Like that. Like that. Like that. Well, it's going to be quite easy to code in reality. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So let's just say he is here. Go to events. When green flag clicked, control forever, if then, operators. Let's do this, variables, open inv1, then we need show. Let's duplicate this, clean up. If that's 0, then hide. Let's do this now. If we click that and do that, it will hide. Perfect. That is exactly what we want. Then what we want now is a when green flag clicked, forever, if then. Now we need sensing, and we want touching inv slot 1. We need to go to sorry, wait, no, wrong thing. We want to go motion, go to, and then inv slot 1. Let's duplicate that 3 more times because that's how many inv slots we have. If touching inv slot 2, go to inv slot 2. If touching inv slot 3, go to inv slot 3. So now if we go here, if we do this, let's maximize our screen. We want it to set draggable. That is my bad completely. Set mode draggable. There we go. If we want it to go to a slot that's like currently not bind to something else, we now need to go to variables, make a variable, inv slot 1 taken. I'm gonna copy that so it saves me a couple of extra seconds. I'm now gonna do that, do this, and do this. I'm gonna actually get rid of the taken because we don't need the taken on the end of it. And basically this variable will now be our manager, let's say, for our im slots. So sword, we want it to first go into im slot 1, so if we clear that, im slot 1, let's take that, set that to 1. Now what we want to do is go to sensing, and we want and blocks, and we just want to drag all of these into here. So grab the equal blocks, drag them into there, go to variables, im slot 1, im slot 2, im slot 3, and if we want and im slot 0, 0, 0. Now we put these in, so, and now we can do this. So we want that im slot, we want to set that to 1, and that will be the same for everything else. So that'll be slot 3, slot 2. Alright, so this is just like a temporary way of doing it. I will be like doing it once we start adding more and more items and do a HUD a couple episodes later down the line. But once we've done this, we want to grab a couple more set blocks here. So for this one will be 2 and 3, and we want to set them to 0 now. If we just duplicate them and put them in there, clean up, let's close that, set that to 1 and set that to 1 as well. There we go. I'm actually going to make that 1 and then this 2, so it's in nice and neat order. Now this means if we can basically drag it everywhere, let me show you. Q, we can now drag it anywhere, but then if we touch, oh, please don't tell me I just ruined that. I did. Let's just quickly go inventory, motion, wait, let's go control, forever, clean up blocks, motion, go to 0, 0. There we go. And we want it to go to back layer. This is the problem when you accidentally do that. That'll go front layer, that'll go front layer. And we need the sword to also go front layer. There we go. So now it should be fixed. Yep. As you can see, you can drag it anywhere. But if we drag it in the middle like so, you can actually drag it up a bit. To fix that, all we need to do is just edit the sprites like so. I'm just gonna fill it with a nice grey 95 color like this for all of them. So now if we go in inventory, even if it is touching by the slightest, it will go in. So now if we want it to like go to a like I don't know, if we drag it into a random position in our inventory screen, why isn't that working? Like this, it will just stay there, which is not what we want. So what we need is a nice simple bit of coding. So let's grab when green flag clicked, control, forever, if then, and we need a not, and we need an or and an or. So not touching, we need another touching and another touching, drag it in there, not touching in slot 1, in slot 2, or in slot 3. We want it to then check what things are, so let's grab another if then, and another one, and another one, and it will completely, we don't actually need this, let's just get rid of the one, we only need one, then we can just duplicate it, save us time. If then in slot 1 equals 0, actually if we do in slot 1, then we need go to in slot 1. Now we need to duplicate this twice like so, and remove the in slot 1 and both the ones, and replace them with 2 and 3, and do the same thing to this one. So now if we drag it anywhere, just double check, yep, we can no longer drag it anywhere, and I just accidentally broke that. Let's max my screen so I won't do that ever again. So now if we drag it anywhere, it will not allow it. It's not touching this one apparently. It's not touching this one. Hello? Okay, it doesn't want to seem to do it. It's kind of weird. I think for this I'm just going to create like a square behind it, like a dark screen behind it. I'm going to create a center dot with a green circle to show common. That is the complete opposite of what I wanted in reality. There we go. Backwards, 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 backwards. Perfect. Actually, wait. Let's just get rid of that. Oh no. So now if we do that, what is going on? Okay, I've fixed the problem. All you have to do is add an aura around the sword or your object or item of choice, and it will sort it out. For some reason it's still not showing up. Or when I do this, there it is. So I think it only shows up sometimes. Yeah, it's like every 1 in 2 it will show up. Let me try fix this real quick. Okay guys, if you guys are also getting the glitch I was getting, all you have to do is go to each inventory slot, put a go backwards 1 layer after the go to front layer bit. Then on the sword you want to put a go to front layer. Then in this piece of code here you want to put a go to front layer, and then on this one go to front layer. So whenever you open it, it will put it right at the front. Whenever when you close it, it will then also put it right at the front, but it's also hidden, so it doesn't matter about that. So yeah, now we can drag our sword around in our thing. If we close it down, it will remember it as well, which is really nice. And yeah, so now that we have this, we can make a completely new item, which is what I will do right now. Okay, so once you've made your second weapon, I've just made another sword and renamed the first sword C sword for common sword, and then my second option, which you can't really see because it's been covered up here, R sword, which stands for rare sword. So for rare sword, we just want to do a set to the second inventory slot. So we change the set inv slot 1 to 0 and set inv slot 2 to 1 and go to inv slot 2. So now it should be now second spot. My bad, they both have the same code, don't they? Yeah, we just need to now make them work for each other. So we want to do more stuff like this. Let me figure out how to do this real quick. Everyone, after a couple of hours, or at least I think it's been a couple of hours, I'm not too sure, it's been very close to a couple of hours, I am fairly satisfied with what I have been able to come up with so far. There are a couple of glitches with it which I will try to do. It is a very long process, so I suggest you just go ahead and copy these scripts into your backpack by going to the project page, which if my Google wants to load it, it doesn't want to load it. I'm just going to save now and then go to the project page. If you want to see this, you go here, go see inside, and then you can open your backpack and drag the code inside. I think that's the easiest way. Let me show you what it does. So basically they spawn on the same pad, but if you move it into another thing, it is quite laggy, but as you can see, if you try and move it anywhere other than the thing, it will teleport back to a open space. So if we put him there and then move him here, it will move him to the first open space, and then it will move him to the second open space. I'll run you down through the thing. So basically, if it's not touching any of the inventory slots, it will detect if the first one is full, it will move on to the second one. If the second one is full, it will move on to the third one. If the third one full, then it will wait until every single one is empty. If the first one is empty, it will set the variable free space. You'll have to make a new variable called free space. Actually, I think it will make it for you. once you've copied this into your backpack and put it into your own project.
By the way, everyone, I'm just going to show you how you can add more slots to your inventory right now really quick. Although I probably won't be really quick, it might take a little while, but assuming that that's how you did it, if you started by just having like, you know, more than 3 slots, then you'll probably already have an inv slot 4 variable and everything like that sorted out, but I'm going to show you how to add more. So this is how you add more. So let's make a variable, and I'm going to call this inv slots 4, like so. I'm only going to make one more because it's very long. I want to hide that because we don't want it on, so let's hide that, and we're going to go down, and we now that you've got all these like inv slots and things here, if open it, yeah, we don't need open inv, but you know, now you've got like these swords, you've got to change each of these to set the new layers to things, and so it's very long and tedious. Now the best way of doing this, everything else I assume you'd have already sorted out, to be honest. Like for example, none of this you actually need to change. Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, I don't think you actually need to change anything else. No, you don't. Yeah, no, so you don't actually need to change everything else, but you do need to right click and duplicate the inv slot 3, and we're going to call this obviously sorry, inv slot 4, and we're going to increase the x by 100. That is the rule that we do, so that's 120. That may look a bit weird. Let me have a look. Nope, that's fine, 120. And then obviously after this you might just want to go down, so you might want to go down by like 100 or something. 100 might be a bit much, I'm not sure. No, 100 I think would be fine. If we went 220, no. Yeah, so you need to go down by negative 100 here. So that's, let's go, make that 20. And yeah, so you might want to go down by negative 100 when you reach the end of this bit here. But we don't need to do that. So yeah, when you get to the end, you're going to go down. And yeah, we've got inv slot 4 now. I'm just going to move that in front of the sword. So we kind of got our inv slots in a layout right here. Now I'm going to go to our classic sword, and we're going to set, where we've got this green flag clicked up here, we're going to set inv slot 4 to 0, and let's just right click and clean up. Now we've got in this when green flag clicked, we've got loads of scripts here. We're going to add a set underneath this. Oh, whoops. This will be set inv slot 4 to 0, and if in slot 1, blah blah blah. We've got loads of if statements here, and I'm going to add another if statement. So I'm going to go if, so just under this inv slot 3 equals 1, we're going to say if drag an equals block, and then the variable inv slot 4 equals 1. Then we're going to wait until, and we're going to get another or here. Just take these off. We're going to right click and duplicate that, and just take off the inv slot 3. And it's quite long to do this, I know, but then we're going to do this for inv slot 4. By the way, please remember, you've got to do this for every single thing that every item. But I'm going to show you a little shortcut. So now we're going to add this other or. Then this will be if inv slot 3 is equal to 0, or inv slot 4 is equal to 0. And to drag this, you kind of got to drag it from the first or, otherwise, you know, you kind of cut it off from the other ors. So you just want to drag it from the first or and put it into the wait until. Set free space to 0, and then we're gonna do. So here we've got an if else, which is I think what we wanted. Yeah, so each of these are an if else. So we're gonna now drag in another if else underneath the if inv slot 3. And how does this work? So we've got set free space to and then if. So we're going to do before the else, we're going to, after set free space to 0, after inv slot 3, we're going to do another one, and this will be if inv slot 4 is equal to 0, then we are going to set free space to 0, and right click, we're going to duplicate this wait until here, and we're going to actually, yeah, so now we're going to want to remove that inf slot 3, once again duplicate it, oh not that, we want to duplicate the whole equals, remove the inf slot 3, make it inf slot 4, we want to drag in another OR, and put an inf slot 3 there, oh, there we go, inf slot 3, this is not working, is it? Inf slot 3, or inf slot 4 equals 0, and then, what else do we need? I think that's it. So let's do that. Put that in there. Then I'm going to delete all of these. So right click, delete, right click, delete, right click, delete, and then I'm just going to duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Then we're going to go to free space. Let me clean up blocks really quick here. Then go to free space, go to inf slot 2, go to inf slot 1. So these else's here, so this is going to be a bit complicated. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me have a look at this. So 1, 2. So if inf slot equals 1, go to, and then that is, after the if inf slot 3 is equal to 1, in the else here, so we want to go into the motion, we're going to say go to, and as you can see, each between each of these inf slot 1, inf slot 2, there's two like little gap, two yellow bricks here sort of, so we're going to count up 1, 2 yellow bricks, and this will be go to inf slot 3, just like so, and that's how you do it. Just right click and clean up. There's one more bit we need to do, which is here. Now I don't know what this is, so this is if inf slot 2, okay, yeah. So this one's a bit more complicated. Oh, it's the exact same thing, just if not touching. Oh yes, we want this if not touching. So we're gonna also duplicate this OR here and put that not put that in. We're gonna remove those. So at the top of this first one, green flag clicked, I know it's quite complicated. We're going to drag in the OR touching slot 2, OR touching slot 3, and we're going to remove that and put in that OR there, and we're going to say OR touching slot 3, OR, and then we're going to duplicate that and touching in slot 4. Put that back in. And then there we go. And that is that. Next, we want to do the same but for slot 2, so I'm going to right click, delete that, and I'm also going to delete this one here. So we're going to delete the other two blocks we've got. And what's this one? Oh, we'll get back to that one in a minute. So the next two we're also going to delete from slot 2 and 3, and we're going to let me zoom out a bit here because it's going to get quite long. Duplicate that, and this will become, this is touching in slot 2, then we'll set in slot 2 equal to 0, and then we'll go to in slot 2. Then we're going to do the same again, so we zoom out, and then this one will be for in slot 3, and so if touching in slot 3 and in slot 3 equals, and then we need one more because we've added a new bar to our inventory. This is quite long, but I'm just going to go with it. We're going to if touching in slot 4, in slot 4 equals 0. In slot 4 equals 0. Then we're going to go to in slot 4. That's it for that. Now we've got one more down here, which I'm just going to drag up. And this is, all we need to do with this is remove this last OR, take out the touching in slot 3, bring in another OR, and then duplicate, put that in slot 3 back into the OR, duplicate the in slot 3 and touching in slot 4, and put that in there and put that back in that OR. Probably doesn't make a lot of sense. And then all we need to do is add in another if, so go to control, if if else, and then we're going to duplicate that. This will become in slot 4 equals 1. Wait until, remove that last thing, add in another OR, duplicate that last thing and put it in there. Then rather than this being in slot 3, this will become in slot 4. And what's next? Another if else. So in control, if else, after this set free space to 0, we're going to say if and duplicate the inf slot 3 equals 0, and replace the inf slot 3 with inf slot 4 equals 0. Then we are going to set free space to 0, else we would wait until, remove the last thing there, duplicate it, and add another OR block, and then put those back in, both of those back in, and we're going to remove that in slot 3, that last in slot 3 with in slot 4. Then we're going to delete these 3 OR statement things here, and duplicate them and replace them with the original that you just duplicated. And there we go. And then let's have a look at this right now. So we've got a 3 else. So once again, same thing. 1 2, and then 1 2. Then we need to go to. So after the next 2, in slot 3. Then this else here. Not actually sure what it needs to be honest. Let me figure this out. Let me have a look what we got in this up here. Go to free space, and then there wasn't an else, so okay. So whatever block that was, you didn't actually need an else there, but oh well, we've done it anyway. Next, we need to do the same but for the other sword, so that's a bit more complicated. Well, not really, because it's the... Yeah, no, we don't actually need to do anything else. All we need to do now, open up this backpack down here. You see this backpack? I'm just going to remove that. And what we want to do is drag each of these into our backpack. I'm going to right click and clean up. Oh no, I did not want to do that, because then I'm going to lose what I've done. I'm going to drag each of these 5 new things that we've just made into your backpack. And we're going to go into the sword and delete each of these ones here. So we don't need those. I think there's only 4 in this one. Just delete all of them. Don't need them. We do want that though. And then what you want to do is simply drag in each script again. Don't really worry about the neatness because we're going to fix that in a minute. Now once you've dragged all of them in, clean them up. So right click clean up blocks and do the same on this. Right click clean up blocks. Now if we press play, we should be able to... Oh dear. Alright, there are a few problems now. So that's not kind of teleporting to the... Right, I'll have a look at that. Alright, give me a minute everyone. Okay everyone, so for the third one we didn't go to in slot 4 on the third green flag, so you got 1 green flag, 2 green flag. Then here, oh not that one of these here, so go to in slot 2, there will be 2 go to in slot 2s. Yeah, here, no, that's 1. These aren't ordered very well. That's 4, that's 2, and that's also 2. So one of the 2s, just change that to 3. That should fix that. Let's try that again. It only works on the green one because that's the only one that we've made it to work on. Yes, so the green one actually teleports into the third now. Now the blue kind of just goes wherever it wants, because we need to do the same. No, we don't need to do the same with the blue. What's going on with the blue? The blue's not working the same. Let me have a look at that. No, I'm pretty sure it is 1 2 3 4 boom, 1 2 boom, 1 2 boom. Wait a minute. Oh no, it's this one, yeah. Okay, let me have a look what's the problem. In slot 4, if in slot 4 is equal to 0, blah 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 blah. Right, give me a minute, everyone. Okay, everyone, so to be honest, that is kind of it. The rest of the bugs I think Sacksooma is going to try and fix in a couple of episodes. There are going to be a few bugs with this inventory system, so I think some you may just have to attempt to fix because there's going to be quite a few. I've just noticed a bug. Hang on a minute. So in slot 4 doesn't even have. Is that because I've accidentally deleted it or something? Have I done that? No. So one of them doesn't even have a forever on. So let me fix that. It's only on the blue one as well. Right. Let me re-add my. No, when green flag clicked, it's missing that. Let me put that back on. So yeah, I think that's kind of a problem. Sometimes they spawn in each other, which Sacksooma's going to try and fix. A couple of episodes. Now, I don't really know why it does this, to be honest, because some of them aren't going into the right boxes and stuff, and some of them are quite buggy. I'm not sure why the first one doesn't work, to be honest, but it is what it is. Oh, I know why. Sorry, in the green sword, what we want to do is we've currently got, so if touching in slot 1, go to in slot 1, set in slot 1 to 0. If touching in slot 2, we don't want to set in slot 1, we want to set in slot 2 to 1. And then we want to set in slot 3 to 1, and set in slot. So like depending on what you're touching, so here we're touching in slot 4, so we're going to set in slot 4 to 1, and then slot 1 to 0. Let's see how that works. Oh, we need to do the same with the blue as well. So once again, the same process. So if this is if touching in slot 2, this should be in slot 3, not in slot 2. Wait, one of these is incorrect. So that's okay. This should be go to in slot 3. This one should be go to in slot 2. Sorry, my bad. So we're going to set go to in slot set in slot 1 to 0. Set in slot 2 to 1. Go to in slot. So this one we're going to set 0. We're going to set 3 to 1. This one we're going to set 4 to 1, and we're going to set 1 to 0, and then this one we're going to keep it as it is, wherever that is. Now let's try that. Q. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so there we go. We can actually place them wherever we want now. That's fixed that problem. There are still a couple of problems, but there we go. That's basically, I know that was really long, but that is how you add new ones. So an easy way of doing that is just simply going into the project, and you can just steal the scripts with nabbing them into your backpack like that, like how I just showed you a minute ago, and that's basically a simple way of doing that. Let me close that. I can't close it because I've changed the thing. But yeah, that's basically how you do it. So I know that took a long time, but yeah, that's basically how you add more.
The free space variable to 0. If the inventory is 2, is set that to 0. Set free space to 0, and then it will just keep doing it, and it will go to free space once that is complete. So yeah, that's basically that script. My oh my, what a pain in the bum it is. You also might want to copy this script down here as well. If free space equals 1, then inventory slot 1 is the one to go to, and then if it's 2, go to that one, and if it's 3, then go to that one.
Yes, now this reminds me, I'm stupid and didn't save the project because I didn't think I'd need to. I forgot to add this, so I no longer have my 4th slot, but I've got my variable still, so I just re-added that. I don't think you need to do it on the inventories, no, on the slots, no. On each sword, you need to go down to the really small if statement and add on an if statement, so just duplicate the old if statement, and say if free space equals 4, then set in slot 4 to 0. I need to do that on both. Now I forgot to do that, and I've not saved the project, but that will also fix a few bugs. So if free space equals 4, set in slot 4 to 0. because otherwise it won't reset it to 0. So there you go. That will fix that problem. Sorry about that.
One. Pretty tough stuff if you ask me. They do spawn on the same pad, which is annoying, and if you do like drag it over to the other ones, it will collide and go on the same one. So I suggest, you know, just avoid doing that as much as possible, and I will try to fix it as soon as I can. You know, doing this for multiple hours in a row is not fun. Especially when it doesn't go your way. When it goes your way and it works, oh, it's so nice. But when it doesn't, it really is not nice at all. It's not nice on the brain, need breaks. But yeah, we've basically got the inventory system done. Thank God for that. If you guys did enjoy, find this tutorial helpful. Sorry it was so long. Make sure you guys do subscribe and leave a like. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.